Hey guys, how's it going? Here's your boy, Mr. Tag! And today, I'm doing something, it's not a little bit different, it's sort of the same, but also a bit different. So it is a little bit different by that definition. Anyway, so I'm doing more Fish Hero Beat content because this deck is good. This deck is so good. I don't know if just because I usually play jank decks, and I'm used to being like, oh, there's, just bad situations, bad hands, this can't out, stuff that meta decks play. Maybe it's just because this deck is secretly better than everyone else wants it to be. But this is the future of Hero Beat, this list right here. And why is that? Well, I think, looking at some more standard Hero Beat lists, not amalgamations of stuff, I think the big issue with Hero Beat is it has one game plan, that is recur alias, so you can recur the advantage engine that Gemini Spark gives you, and then eventually you can zero your opponent. Right? It doesn't play very many monsters. It plays a bucketload of traps to stop your opponent from doing stuff until you get your alias stuff going. Then it hopes to just outground your opponent that way, and then eventually just go. Well, this deck does the same thing, except does it a lot quicker, and it has some strengths that the good old normal Hero Beat lists don't have, and that is more monsters. So you're going to see sometimes just normal summoning a dude and swinging, it just works. And second, it doesn't automatically lose to cards like Royal Decree or Jinzo or any of those blowout cards against decks that play a lot of traps. Because as you can see, we're only playing 10 traps in the main deck, so we've got that going for us as well. For those of you who are new, I'm just going to quickly go through the list and show you what we're dealing with. So we've got Gauze. Yes, okay, this may, obviously this goes against having Skill Drain in the main, because you can't summon Gauze under Skill Drain, but Gauze is just one of the best cards in Edison Format, so you should play it anyway. Double Sidra. Again, this is usually just a free special summon at 2100, and it works well with Honest. Alias, this is a card that the deck sort of revolves around like normal Hero Beat, but we have more options this time. But he's also 1900, works with Honest, and works with Gemini Spark. We have Stratos because it searches our alias, and if we already got alias established, we can search Ocean. Golden Flying Fish. So this one tributes a fish, another fish, not itself, to pop a card on the field. So this does conflict with Skill Drain. It's probably the big card that conflicts with Skill Drain. I mean, so does Stratos, but generally you've already resolved Stratos before Skill Drain's up anyway. So this is the big one that conflicts. But if your Skill Drain is up, 1700 is usually pretty good to go into anyway. Ocean, because we are playing heroes. And of course, occasionally I'd want to search Ocean instead of Alias, just so we've got a water in rotation, because we only have 5 waters. Golden Flying Fish is light, not water. And all the times, sometimes I'm considering I want to cut this to 1, or I want to cut this entirely, maybe run some enemy controllers or something like that. But in the games I'm going to show you, I got the God combo off with this twice. I'm thinking, I can't cut this card. Just can't cut it. Works with Honest as well, which is really good. Phantom, Dragon Ray, Pronto. So, again, why do we run this? It's not because of its stat line. It's not because of its effect, which turns it into Goblin Attack Force if you Gemini summon it. It's because it is water, so it works with Miracle Fusion. It's a fish, so it works with Fish Depth Charge, and it's a Gemini, so it works with Gemini Spark. That's why we run it. We have Honest, because obviously it protects our alias, protects our Cyber Dragons, and protects our Golden Flying Fish. And we play Oystermeister, so when this leaves the field, except by battle, summons a token. Again, bad Dandelion, but it works with Golden Flying Fish. You get a token, you true that token, and you can pop a Golden Flying Fish again, so then you're plussing, which is really, really cool. And it's water as well, so it's not bad. 1600. It's not the best, but it's not terrible. That's it for the monsters. Again, it's still, I think if I explained this in other profiles before, it's not, I usually do run more monsters in my decks because I'd like to see things I want to summon, but I think this is a good monster count here for this one. Next, going into double emergency call. So my original list was 1 Bronto, 3 call. I think 2 was probably correct. 2 so we can play the other Bronto. This still means you still got like 4 ways to get to Alias. So basically got 7. You either draw Alias Hardway, Stratos, E-Caller, or Rotor it. So there's a lot of ways you can get to it. Heavy to clear the way, Rotor, because it searches Stratos, searches Alias, searches Ocean. You know, if you're playing Warriors, you got to play Rotor. 3, Miracle Fusion, because this is what we do. Eventually we get set up, our opponent can't do anything, and then bang, Miracle Fusion, bang, Miracle Fusion, bang, Miracle Fusion, and then we win the game. Brain Control. If I was to cut something, I feel like it might be this card. We don't really have many conversions. I mean, we contribute over the monster of Cyber Dragon, and sometimes just Brain Control a big monster and swing with it to either force a Mirror Force or win the game. You know, is also pretty good. I probably wouldn't cut this entirely. I probably side it because we are playing a tuner in the side deck. MST to again help clear the way. Gemini Spark because obviously you're running the Alias to plus, and we're running the Bronto to plus as well. Future Fusion, send our Ocean and Bronto to grave. Get the Miracle Fusions online automatically. Traps Bottomless, gets rid of the big threats so we can go through. Mirror Force, because it's Mirror Force and late game Mirror Force is amazing. Torrential to again clear the way. We can also, if we have an Oyster Meister on the field, you can Torrential, then we get a token for free. So that's pretty cool. Fish Depth Charge. So this is Gemini Spark in trap form for fish. That's all you need to know. And again, works really well with Oyster Meister because then he just summons a token when he gets sent from field to grave anyway. So you're plussing instead of just going even. Skill Drain. This is a big reason why you should play the deck. Because like I said, really the only major conflict is Golden Flying Fish and Gauze, but you can't Gauze on a Skill Drain anyway. So this should be in main deck. There's a reason this card's at 2. If this card was at 3, I think Edison would be a bit, a bit harder to play, a bit more annoying to play. But you got to main this, got to main 2. Because again, it helps in situations like say a Duplock, which does come up in the games I'm going to show you. Just get the Duplock and then start swinging with stuff. It just stops a lot of really annoying things from breaking our board. Monarchs can't get their effects off, which are the main culprits. And there's, other random stuff which comes up as well. And Judgment, because again, we can just set this, wait for the opportunity, strike, and know our play is going to go through. Extra, only thing that really matters is Zab Zeros at 3. And Chimera Check Fortress Dragon, because again, mucking a Fortress, it's a pain in the ass for this deck to out. I mean, I know it's an Alias and a Gemini Spark. It's a 2-card combo you have to see, or a Bronto Gemini Spark. Or a Fish Depth Charge and an Oyster Meister. Maybe Fortress isn't that hard to out. But still, it's nice to be able to go summon Cyber Dragon, eat the board. So, Synchros mostly don't matter. Our Stardust Dragon does, because we do have Starlight Road in the side. We do have a few here, just because we do have Gale in the side as well as a tuner, which can also make our enemies, our opponents' stuff smaller. So then we can help swing over it with our smaller guys. That's why we're also running, the Armor Master, Black Rose, Goyo, if we go with Oyster Meister specifically, and Brio. Catastor is really hard to make, but I reckon if I'm going to have to put a 5 in here, it's Catastor over Android. And Armorium we can make with an Oyster Meister token and a level 3 tuner. Side deck. This is pretty unchanged from my one in my undefeated profile, except I put DD Crow in instead of Caius. We have Lava Golem for decks that go wide, Prime Material for decks that like to blow stuff up, Patchy for decks like to special summon, Gale, like I said, because it's a tuner, so it does allow us to access our extra deck, and also because it can make stuff smaller, so some of our smaller guys can help get over stuff. Crow, because it's Crow. I think this could be Kaiku, to be honest. I don't think there's ever any time I wanted. I mean, you want to see Crow when people have Plague in the Grave, but I think I just want Kaiku more than anything. Vortex to help with board wipes. Transmog, this is essentially a second Crow. Starlight Road, because if they don't play a huge suite of traps, it's still nice to have the Starlight Road down, and especially if Lightsworns and Judgment Dragon, or Gyzaris in Gladiator Beasts, even though that's generally a pretty good matchup. but still it's nice to know you have Starlight Road. Compulse to bounce annoying synchros, or even bounce Lava Golem back and then summon him to the field again. Oppression for decks like to special summon. If we side this in, we typically are siding out Gauze. So, and the same with Shadow Imprisoning Mirror. Just stop the dark decks from doing dark deck things. Alright, so now instead of showing you, just having the replays go, play it, times 5 speed with annoying music in the background, I'm going to talk through the matches as they go. And these are matches. So you're going to see all the games, win or loss. So I played 2 full matches about an hour and a half ago. And I'm going to show you how that went. I'm going to go through my thought process as well on those games. So anyway, guys, I will see you in those games. Peace. Welcome back, guys. So both our matches were, funnily enough, against Frog decks. I don't know how that happened. But just did. Both decks were... They were kind of similar, also kind of different. One player was definitely better than the other player, as you'll see in the replays, with some of the decisions that were made, which are kind of odd from one of the players. It wouldn't be how I would have played it out. But anyway, I'll just get into it. So I'll probably be, pausing, going through my thoughts on my hand in this situation, and we'll go from there. And I'm pretty sure both times I lost the die roll. So it's not just, you open skill drain and you set it turn 1, you're so skilled. No, I did not win the die roll. Or the rock, paper, scissors, as it were. So, let's get into it. Yep, here we go. So opponent's going first. I think I'm going to do some swap frog things, Sentry Born, pretty standard. Set Regeki breaking pass. Yeah, that seems pretty reasonable. Okay. I'm pretty sure I'm like, okay, if that's Regeki break, they're going to use it on Future Fusion, because why would you let that resolve? And they let me resolve Future Fusion. I'm like, okay, maybe that's not Regeki break, because that's what you want on Regeki break, right? So I'm like, okay, send my 2 waters, Rhoda for Stratos. I'm like, yep, let's just get this ball rolling. The Regeki break, Stratos. I'm like, why would you do that? I don't understand. If you have the Future Fusion and a normal summon, I would pop the Future Fusion always, even when you don't know what your opponent's on. Even if they're on some sort of jank that you're not aware of, always pop the Future Fusion. It's not the best card in Edison. It's definitely top 5. Anyway, so I think this player might be new or just not, not very good, not very practiced. Maybe they're testing this deck out for the first time. Just keep them from there. So they pop my Stratos. I set bottomless. I'm like, okay, Regeki break is gone. They're probably going to try and, get Treeborn out, summon a Monarch. Which, as you can see from their hand, that's what they're going to do. They also Foolish the last Treeborn. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. And then, okay, they tribute set Caius. So, at first I'm thinking, okay, might be malicious. This might be Dark Hero Frogs. So they're setting malicious. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to leave that card there until I can just clear out everything and go for game. So we draw... It's our Bronto. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to summon Oystermeister and swing into the Swap Frog. And I believe I set the Fish Depth charge as well. That's also why we do the Oystermeister. So we've got a pop and a free token if we need to go that route. That's what you do. So the opponent flip summons the Caius. We're like, okay. This is the worst thing. The worst way you could have played out that Caius. They just could get bottomless and not even get a chance to banish a card, right? Maybe they didn't know that bottomless hits flip summons, I guess. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to bottomless the hell out of that. They rise up. I'm like, okay, they target Oystermeister, which in this situation, it's either Oystermeister or the trap, right? You don't want to give me Future Fusion back. That'd be really, really silly. So I'm like, okay, Oystermeister for them. They're not aware. They were not aware of the Fish Depth charge. So we pop them, draw a card, and get a free water token. Very important, water token. Now we get our Ab-Zero at 3k. It's like, okay, let's make him big. If they've got a Gauze, I don't care. But they have Trag, so yep, just protect from damage, swing in. That's cool. Alright, pretty sure they rise it again because they need to get rid of this Ab-Zero somehow. Which then pops. I mean, that's what you can really do in that situation. Draw heavy just in case. And just go for damage. Just get in there. Just freaking burn them down to the ground, mate. Get it down there. Double substitute, I believe, hits the way to dupe block me. Which admittedly is not fantastic. can be kind of difficult out the dupe block. It is essentially we do need 2 cards in most situations, unless you draw Cyber Dragon or if Gaule's on the field. Or Ab-Zero. So I mean dupe block's like, okay, yep, I see what you're putting down. And let me draw the skill train for turn. I think I'm just gonna build up my board. I'm gonna do that. They have the water art, which is interesting. They set the water art and pass. Now they have a decision here. I'm thinking they either take Gauze or Honest. And I think they did make the right call here. I'm pretty sure Honest is still the right call. Because it's like, oh, you can't summon, you have Future Fusion up, you got a back row, Gauze is not a thing. Except when it's tribute summon Gauze. And then flip skill drain so I can start attacking these dupe frogs. It's still slow going because we can only get over 1 2k booty, right? I think this is where they make another misplay. They summon Subtoad effect. I'm like, okay. I'm thinking, you are aware that you have to tribute Subtoad under skill drain. They were not aware you had to tribute Subtoad under skill drain. Must have been a thing where they're saying, oh yeah, Subtoad works under skill drain. I've seen someone do that before. Typically, they have to tribute the Subtoad first. Yeah. So again, another misplay by the opponent is what it is. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go for maximum damage, just swing in with Gauze. Possibly a mistake. I probably got someone with Alias and summoned Gauze and swung over with Gauze just to get rid of the dupe frog. But to go enemy controller, I'm thinking, no, you will not go enemy controller. So I knew one card was Unifrog. I'm thinking, if you drew double enemy controller, you're just the best duelist ever. Thinking, okay, yep, clear this. They can search. But I'm like, oh, last battle fader. It happens. That's the first battle fader, isn't it? They go tree ball and 1 for 1. I'm thinking, what can you get here? Yep. And this is game, right? 100%. You guys can't see the chats, but I was like, GG, go next. They probably could have gone next about 2 turns ago. Probably after I solemned their econ, but we played it out. So that's replay 1. I'm going to jump into replay 2. Welcome back, guys. Take 2 for this, because I was not recording the first time I watched this match back. So anyway, I'm going to start here. So our opponent, either main decks or most likely side decks, Jinzo, which is, if I don't see Jinzo game 1, I'm not going to side out, my skill drains, or if I don't see Royal Decree, or, stuff that messes around with traps a lot, right? So it's pretty heads up. It's what you would probably side in most of the time you've got Jinzo up. But yeah, it's pretty decent. But we do have a lot of outs to Jinzo, which is nice. Our opponent's going to go here. I believe they just summon Treeborn Frog and pass. I'm like, sure. Pretty decent. We get equal, so you go Stratos, Alias. Simple stuff. Nothing too mind-blowing here, right? Get that set up. Then we go in. Treeborn's gone. Like, okay. We set up bottomless and pass. So this is another instance of our opponent not being that experienced at Edison. So they Caius, targeting the back row. I'm sure you guys know this. So I know you're all highly skilled Edison players. Unless you know what the back row is, and it's not chainable, don't target the back row with a Monarch. Because if it's chainable, you've essentially wasted your Monarch, your effect, basically. Always target the monster unless you know what the back row is. So they target that, chain bottomless, of course. Get rid of that. They have nothing to follow up. So I'm like, okay, yep, let's just go in for big damage. Let's go. Let's go in. They have battle fader. Okay. Fair call. Fair call. Play on. All right, so they go. Then they're going to no. So they get their Treeborn back first. Then they heavy. Which, on the one hand, I mean, yeah, there's a back row. Heavy's fine. On the other hand, though, you've got Jinzo. So, unless you're banking on me having Judgment specifically for the Jinzo, which I did not know about. I mean, I would Judgment Jinzo if they summoned it. 100%. But, if you have Jinzo, you should just tribute summon it anyway. If you think I'm on a trap heavy deck, just summon it. Lock the back row down. Keep the heavy for later. That's just my take, though. Maybe you guys disagree, but I think that is definitely what you're meant to do. So hold your heavies. Because then, hey, you locked me down. Jinzo, and then you can, yeah, like I said, heavy later. Anyway, heavies me, summons Jinzo, swings in, like, yep, that's all fine and dandy with me, mate. I draw to my smart. Okay, let's just set the Gemini Spark and pass, because Gemini Spark is our Jinzo out, so they Riser. And now, I will say this. Riser targets, on point. Set monster, get rid of it. You know you can out, or you think you can out the face-up monster, get rid of that set monster. I'm setting it, so if I draw it again, it's pretty horrendous to me. So those targets have been on point. So Gemini Spark, get rid of the Jinzo, draw the Oystermeister again. Like, yeah, okay, he came back. Draw for turn, his alias. Like, okay, I'm going to set up a Mirror Force play here, which he doesn't play into to begin with, which is pretty surprising. He did summon Junk Synchronic on Armorion, which I thought was surprising, but yeah, he straight up passes. Like, okay. Pretty heads up, that's good play. It's like he really likes Riser. He wants Riser to stay. He wants Riser to stick. So plays around Mirror Force. I'm like, yeah. Good stuff. Alright, Future Fusion, broken card. Dump 2 waters. Just wait. We have no reason to do anything weird. Our opponent set to Treeborn. I'm like, okay, maybe I might be able to bait an attack. So I go Alias, swing at the frog that I don't know about. It's Treeborn. I'm like, okay, that's fair enough. And now they do go battle phase. They do swing. And I do Mirror Force them. So now we're up again. Now we're ahead. And we never fall behind again. So Ab-Zero's like, okay, Torrential. Like, oh yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. So our opponent gets a dupe search. And we get a token. And we have Miracle Fusion. So we're going to get big damage in now. Game is just flipped on its head. Our opponent's not even ahead on life points anymore. And this is the end of the game right here. Opponent goes Treeborn, Embassy, the back row. I'm like, yeah, sweet. But our opponent has to deal with Ab-Zero. And dealing with Ab-Zero means they now have an empty board. They think, oh, Swap Frog might protect me. They only got one monster on the field. You know, I'll get another turn. You don't get another turn. Because I can just tribute the token off, pop the Swap Frog, and swing in the game. So that was game 2. So 2-0. Pretty simple 2-0 there. Like I said, our opponent wasn't the most experienced, so I don't think it was a fair representation of what a Frog Monarch versus Fish Hero Beat matchup would look like. Stick around for the next one, guys, because this next match is definitely a doozy. Alright, catch you in the next one. And welcome to the next match against Coma Jack. So, again, we're going second. Didn't win the die roll. Can't just set skill drain and pass and float to victory on that. Opponent's on the die roll. Now, our opponent is maining some very interesting cards, which this is in their main deck. This is game 1. So they have Mobius for our back row and Vanity's Fiend to stop us from Gauzing, Cyber Dragoning in theory, and from Miracle Fusioning, right? So already, we don't know yet. This is an uphill battle already. But let's just see how it plays out. So opponent's also got an upside, and Apache as well, right? But Apache's not too bad. We don't really care if they just set and pass. They got the Battle Fader. They're not really scared of anything. Turn on Miracle Fusion. Nice pass on that. And they set the Apache. Like, okay, we're gonna stop this guy from coming out. I special the Sidra. So they do have the out for the Sidra. But I got rid of the Apache. So our Future Fusion will be able to resolve. Next turn. In theory, I think you can see where this is going. Vanity's Fiend. Yep, got Vanity's Fiended, so our Future Fusion just stays there. Looks really, really stupid, right? But we do find the out, but I'm going to slowly get there. I could just search Alias here, but I do like to plus, and we do have the Mirror Force as well, so if they overcommit. But they do the Soul Exchange, and then they Mobius and pop both our back row. It's not looking good. This is not looking good for our boy. Back row's gone. Just means Gauze is technically live, but Vanity's Fiend is still on the field. But we do have the Alias. Gem Spark, get rid of that Vanity's Fiend. Let's just go, let's just commit into this back row. I don't care what it is, let's swing. It's not, didn't get rid of us, so we're fine. And we do have Skill Drain. So our opponent's going to wait for us to swing because they have a Battle Fader. Makes sense. Like, yep, that's cool. You do you, mate. So they go in, then they found a Decree. They take out Ab-Zero. They're Treeborn. You're going to summon the Stalos. So here's the quote-unquote misplay. Like, I flip Skill Drain. Like, I'm going to stop you from bringing a card out of my hand. Wait a minute. Absolutely is going to wipe you, and then you still get to rip a card. So Skill Drain not doing very much here at all. Costing us 1,000 life points. And we lose our Miracle Fusion, which really hurts. They've got Decree set. But I'm just going to go for damage. Fish! Fish, but they battle Fader, so we can't fish right now. And then we also set our Torrential, which is pretty bad, into that Decree, which we don't know about, admittedly. I'm just like, okay, I'm going to hold the Honest. I want our Golden Flying Fish to be protected. So they're going to Brain Con our Fish, and then summon a Jinzo. So their Jinzo is negated by Skill Drain, because Skill Drain was up first. Like, oh, I'm just Torrential it away. This is fine. But then they have Decree. So then Decree negates Skill Drain, so Jinzo is not negated anymore. And so no, then yeah, no. So Decree, yeah. I don't want to think about it too much. It's yeah. So Jinzo's not negated, but Jinzo negates the Royal Decree, but Jinzo negates the Skill Drain. Yeah, funny stuff. Okay, I got Sidra. So I had two options. I could contact them out, but I figure I'm just going to go in for damage. I'm just going to Honest, because now we are ahead. We have a Sidra up. What can they summon? I can beat it like once can they summon to beat Sidra? Not very much. Swing again. They wait on the tracks. They don't think they're not dead, which is fine. They're going to Swap Frog, which doesn't do very much in this situation. Go again. I'm like, Oyster Master. All right, let's go for game. Swing a Sidra first. And the reason for that is I had a feeling they may have been on track. Just because there was a long delay after I swung with Sidra, after with the Royal Decree up. Nothing in it. Wait a minute. You can't summon Gauze there. So they must have track. So I'm thinking, okay, I'll just go in for damage. And they can't have Gauze anyway. Because Decree's up, right? So might as well get the damage in. They summon track to protect themselves. Oyster clears. I don't think much happened. No, yeah, that's it. So that was it. They couldn't get the Vanity's Fiend out. So we take game one. Game two, I side out my Skill Drains, because I know they have Jinzo, and I bring in Primeval Dragon and Gale. Because Gale, while Skill Drain is a Vanity's Fiend out, Gale is also a Vanity's Fiend out. And it also means we are less likely to lose to Royal Decree, the less traps we have in our deck. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. Alrighty. Welcome back, guys. So, our opponent has opened. Well, we don't know because they haven't drawn the card for turn yet. Not a bad hand from our opponent, but a pretty good hand from us. Of course, this deck can reduce bad hands. You could, in theory, draw both your Brontos, Ocean, double Oyster Meister, and draw another Oyster Meister for turn. That is definitely a possibility. 100%. It's very unlikely. And then, of course, if you draw all your bad cards first, you're going to draw good cards after. Just a little theory I've been working on. But of course, less bad cards you play, less bad hands you're going to have, right? Yeah. So opponent just, I believe, sets their Treeborn and passes. Yeah. I'm thinking, all right, let's get the ball rolling. And now I'm just thinking here, okay, I'm going to play as if that is Royal Decree. If it's Royal Decree, we don't worry about setting stuff. Just play aggressive. Let's get into it. Let's not let them, get a foothold. Because if we play as if it's Royal Decree, that also stops, Treeborn from coming back, which also stops Vanity's Fiend and their Monarchs as well. Considering we don't have Skill Drain to stop those now, it's just something we've got to keep in mind. Hence why I don't heavy straight away. I'd also want them to commit another card before I heavy if I was going to do that, but I don't do that. And of course, they can do this. They can still special the swap and get the Vanity's Fiend out, but that's right, they special, use their extra normal on the dupe, and then summon Vanity's Fiend. Which is interesting. I don't know why you would do it that way. I'd rather keep the dupe in hand, because really, most of my monsters can't get over 2k without some sort of help. So keep the dupe in hand when you need to just set it and maybe wait a turn. That's what I would have done. Probably a slight misplay from my opponent there, but they've established Vanity's Fiend. So it's, you know, not great for us, in theory, according to them, but we do have Alias on us. And I'm just like, let's go for it. Get rid of it. Get it off the field. Bye. Bye. Get it off. Bye-bye. Just Alias pass. Don't even set the Mirror Force. Don't even bother. They're drawn heavy. Doesn't do anything in this situation. But they do have Battle Fader. So they are going to get to stick a Battle Fader so they could draw a Tribute. They'll be in a good position. They don't draw a Tribute. They draw Substitute, but they just opt to set it. I think it's interesting. Draw E-Call. I was thinking, okay, get more guys out. More guys, let's get them going. Let's get another Alias, you know. I summon the fish. Because now I can do the God combo. Pop the Oystermeister. Pop their card. Summon a token. Just get rid of that token. Pop the other monster. Let's get in for more damage. Leave the back row up. Because at this point I'm like, that's Decree. 100% Decree. And then they just scoop it up. So we played around Decree. Which is something you can't really do in standard Hero Beat. Unless you got, I don't know, 9 side deck cards, which are all spells, which you could play instead, like Book of Moon and Swords of Concealing Light and Forbidden Chalices, if you're going to do that. But anyway, those are the games. 2-0 both times. Again, against similar decks, probably against almost the exact same lists, almost, kind of. Against 2 different people. One player was much better than the other. And of course, this deck, so I'll probably say, I'm trying to think what decks this matchup, what problems this deck has, what matchups are really bad. Skill Drain mitigates a lot of those problems. Blackwings, I guess, is a problem because they have Vigorous Attack and they can just sack their smaller guys and get rid of the Skill Drain and one of our monsters. But we can change Gemini Spark if we've got it, or Fish Depth Charge if it's set already. I guess Cleared exists, but we have... I mean, they have their searchable Honest. Ours, we have to draw it. And then, but games 2 and 3 have Shadow Imprisoning Mirror. So I'm actually not sure what matches are really... I guess maybe if a combo deck, like Forgs or Gigavies, combos us turn 1, especially Gigavies, we're probably in trouble. Titanial itself is hard for this deck to out cleanly, and which means a Gigavies board, Titanial, a plant, and Stardust is probably almost impossible. Especially because Skill Drain on Stardust doesn't really do anything, and Skill Drain on Titanial means they have to get rid of the Titanial, but it still gets to negate. So that's, I'd say plants. It's like Gigavies is probably the hardest matchup for this deck. That's just theory. That's just theory, because I've not faced a Gigavies deck with this deck before. But I'll stop blabbing now because I bet this video is pretty long because we did watch, 2 matches and we did the deck profile at the start as well. So I'll leave you guys with that. Hope you guys enjoyed. Again, just consider this deck. Consider playing it. Consider giving it a go. If you want to play Hero Beat, but you're pretty disenfranchised with the deck because it's, it's been outpaced by the current meta, give this a shot. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised what you can do with this type of deck. Anyway, guys, that's all I wanted to say. I hope you guys stick around for my next videos. And don't forget, I keep forgetting to say this, and I'm sure you guys hate hearing it in every single video you guys watch. But like, share, subscribe. It really helps me out. I can keep making more content for more people. You guys. But I'll do it anyway. But pretend that if you don't like, share, and subscribe, I won't make any more videos. That'd be horrendous. Alright, now I've blabbed on too long. Alright, guys. Catch you in the next one.